Sports is all about constant discipline and working on yourself. And despite this, even the best of the best sometimes make mistakes. Today, we have prepared a new selection of the most incredible moments that happen to athletes. Now it's time to put everything aside and be inspired by their achievements. Let's go! Sometimes a goalkeeper is a dark horse who can score the final goal in the last minutes of a match with a beautiful feint. Now we have another reminder that it is not worth celebrating a victory too early in sports. If they decide to name the worst scorer in the history of football at the end of the match, we're ready to bet that this guy will take it. This guy took his hands off the steering wheel too early. He began to celebrate the victory, allowing his opponent to bypass him just before the finish. Now we have another athlete who lost his vigilance just before the finish line, thus giving his first place to an opponent. Sometimes you can win if you just simplify the approach. What an unexpected twist in the very last seconds of the game. Such accuracy of this player is something magic.
To be honest, he's very close to splitting the two red balls and getting to the jack. That's what the target is. Oh, look at this. Oh, that is ridiculous.
This guy was so busy with hitting the ball that he lost his racket. This is the moment when you accidentally notice that the jury took a point from you while you were lifting the barbell. The coach told his wrestler that if he wins, he can throw him, and he had to regret it right after. I wonder how much time they spent rehearsing this trick together. The timing of the performance and the beauty of this goal should go down in the history of world football. These guys know firsthand what drifting is. I wonder if the rules of lawn tennis provide for such precision in grid design. But if you can expect such a development in martial arts, then this is definitely something new in football. I bet he had an A in geometry at school. When his parents bought his first bike, they clearly did not know what it would lead to. If he fails in tennis, he will clearly be able to build a career in gymnastics. On the sports field, any deceptive trick is good at the opponent's goal. Achilles and Hector have a lot to learn from these guys. Look carefully and guess which of the players drank the good luck potion from Harry Potter. It is likely that after watching this video, Ronaldo alone began to get very nervous. It's hard to say if it's luck or a proven trick. Please share your opinion in the comments below. With such a punch and a quick reaction, she could well claim her rightful place in the team. Now it's time to change your profession. And this is the case when you wanted to do everything perfectly, but something went wrong. If you overestimate yourself, be prepared for the fact that things may not go as expected. In my opinion, the runner was not thinking about what she should have been thinking during the race. As a result, we can see what happened. And everything started so beautifully. To help a competitor score a goal in their own goal, you need to try hard for it. I'm sure this case will be a good lesson for the girls. And this fight between basketball players from competing teams looked somehow childish. They could not share the ball. This wasn't her lucky day, so everything failed. In order to get rid of the opponent, the football player simply decided to make a hit, but she wasn't hitting the ball. Where else would she make a split if not in front of her gate? Women also know how to score in a beautiful way. However, sometimes the ball flies directly to the asses of the other players without reaching the goal. These teams had a kind of drunk football match. As you can see, they were falling all the time. This is the case when the ball had to get into the gate just by the will of fate. It could have been a great goal, but someone screwed up all the efforts of the team. When there was a dangerous situation at the gate, the football player tried to kick the ball aside. The thing is that everything went wrong, and she scored a goal for her own team. Being a goalkeeper is not an easy task. After all, there is always a risk of catching the ball with your face. That's how one goalkeeper's mistake can cost the whole team a goal. The goalkeeper did not calculate the flight path and flew right into the metal bar with her head. At this moment, you can only sympathize with her. This kid so desperately wanted tenderness and affection that he couldn't think of anything better than to stop the match and attract maximum attention to himself. It could have been a great goal, but no luck. How can they make all their movements so synchronous that you want to watch it again and again? As you know, everyone can celebrate their victory in different ways, but such a hot embrace between two athletes was definitely inappropriate at that moment. Girls are always girls. How can you go to the game without a crown? If you have real talents, why would you not demonstrate them to the fullest? If you consider yourself the smartest and most agile person, you need to know that there will always be someone with brighter and stronger qualities. Marani performs more than 4 not just technical, but also graceful somersaults in a row in a second. Alicia is a gymnast from America who, despite her young age, adequately represents her country at competitions. Before entering the national selection, athletes must first prove their superiority among domestic competitions. Giulia Valetti shows excellent results even at night. That's the real skill. Mia Silman showed a decent result at this year's competitions. The girl gave it all to impress the judges and the audience. She gained the right speed and jumped to a record length for herself. This definitely deserves respect.
Toinen hyppy pituudessa ja 6.13.
No matter how cold it is, athletes must keep in shape, and therefore the participant has to take off their thermal suit and make a leap from a high start to the most important jump of their career. As you can see, Marina Kalipko has a lot of confidence. It's not surprising because the girl is a champion. Every year she used her unique skills in pole vault jumping to become the leader. However, this time something went wrong and she touched the crossbar.
So it's only Roberta Bruni.
Even the world of gymnastics is dangerous, but at the same time, it's such a beautiful and feminine sport. Even seemingly rough and precise movements can be transformed into an elegant and fascinating dance. Mrs. Papachristou from Greece asks the audience for support and then begins to run and jump. Either she was so confident of victory that she asked for congratulations in advance, or it was such a loud support that gave the girl strength. Ivana Dadik initially took a false start, which knocked her down a lot, and therefore she could no longer gather herself. Unfortunately, this part of the competition turned out to be a failure for the athlete. However, it didn't take a lot of time until Ivana rehabilitated herself and jumped so far that she secured herself one of the top 5 places in the tournament.
Not tonight. Nevertheless.
And this previously unknown athlete under the number 1519 seems to have interested the judges and rivals with a perfectly executed jump. Flawless execution, a non-moving crossbar, and an accurate landing. That's how the girl declared herself in the world of sports. Maybe the jump failed, but she got up from the mats in a very professional way. She knows how to combine speed, strength, and beauty. Women's diving is perhaps one of the most aesthetically beautiful sports. To be honest, it's even hard to imagine that a person is able to jump to such a length. Just a moment, a very promising beginning, and unfortunately a sad ending. What an amazing example of teamwork. This hockey stick that has fallen out of the hands returns to a hockey player with the deft movement of a teammate. Apparently, this hockey player can turn off gravity because it's hard to even imagine such puck-controlling skills. Do you think such a goal can qualify for the title of the best goal in the championship? It's hard to even imagine how powerful this pitch was, that even a powerful cricket bat couldn't resist it. It seems to be the cutest picture in baseball history. We didn't expect him to reach the ball in time either, so it's quite possible to understand the defeated opponent. The athlete in the green top shows amazing accuracy and a perfect long jump. Even though her landing was not the perfect one, her acceleration was amazing. Katie Sagana from Sweden represents her country at long jump competitions and always brings home several significant medals. Daria is one of the best athletes in the long jump category. During her career, she managed to show only perfect results, but this time, something went wrong. After a quick, clear, and victorious long jump, it's not a sin to applaud yourself. Maybe Naya Phillips wasn't able to reach the line, but she did not forget to praise and support herself with applause. Quickly throwing her knees up, Caddy strives to reach that magic line that allows her to make first jump at competitions of this level. Ivana showed a strong athletic character when she was able to achieve success at the 2022 World Cup in spite of everything.
But it's another red light and a foul and another adjustment needed.
And this is the main difference between the male and female sports. Only a girl can stand up so gracefully after a heavy landing. Just look how beautifully and without a single mistake, Jennifer jumps over such a high-set crossbar. This athlete did not just overcome the required height, she jumped much higher, which naturally upset all her competitors. And these heavy landings on the sand, keeping them in mind, bruises become an integral element of living. Good acceleration is one of the most important components of the long jump. Felipa even took a special diet to gain speed easier and faster. Veronica Zanin is closely following the results of her rivals. After all, her jump was not the best, which means she can go home without a medal.
Volta pedana migliore e ampiamente sopra i 6 metri.
And who else thinks that there's no such thing as female friendship? Even such a thing as a rivalry will not prevent girls from supporting each other. And such a goal will probably go down in the history of the NHL forever. It's amazing how confident and professional this player is with a stick. In golf, such a stroke is called a hole-in-one, and not every golfer can boast of such a thing in his career. This is what saving your gait looks like at the very last moment. The coolest ping pong feints you've ever seen, especially fascinating to see them from both athletes. This throw should definitely make him a basketball star. but this shot by Ronnie O'Sullivan can definitely claim to be the best in the history of snooker. Sometimes a game of billiards can be no less fascinating than the Olympic Games. Anastasia Mironchuk opened the competition with her jump and showed a pretty good result. Use the comments below if you know the right name for such a jump. Gymnastics is one of the most difficult yet incredibly exciting sports. I wonder what you could call this unusual sport. Share your opinion in the comments below. Do you want to relax by using a support car during the race? It's unlikely that this trick of the cyclist went unnoticed. I wonder what it was after all, a well thought out trick or an accidental fall. What a great way to check how much a player faked his injury. It's the best combination of speed and grace. And once again, we remind you that the right sports uniform is one of the most important elements of success in sports. And the sports uniform should always be as comfortable as possible. A real cheerleader quickly knows how to attract attention to herself. Alyona Savchenko and Bruno Massat showed an amazing performance in figure skating.
Oh, that's better. Oh, it's well over 6 meters.
Years of hard training, champion thinking, and perfect technique, that's all you need to get the Olympic gold.
Absolutely unheard of 10 years ago. One after the next, after the next.
Good dismount. Here it is. Got it.
But you definitely see such an unusual penalty in handball for the first time. This athlete lost her sneakers during the race, but still successfully finished the distance. Are you still making excuses with uncomfortable shoes so as to not start running? At the end of the game, they managed to score this puck at an incredible angle.
Strength right here to get through, and then the reach.
When you meet these girls, you're unlikely to call them the weaker sex. It's even hard to imagine what this guy is made of. This sport is called Sepak Takraw, and it looks incredibly impressive. The battle of looks before a duel can be quite friendly. Such psychological tricks can be seen quite often before a fight, however, they're simply ignored by the opponent in the majority of cases. She did everything perfectly, the only thing that was missing was a little bit of luck. He started very confidently, but unfortunately, one motivation for a good jump was not enough. The goalkeeper of this team is sure that in any situation, it is necessary to fight to the end. Maybe she couldn't lift the weight, but she demonstrated her gymnastics skills. She doesn't need eyes to hit the ball accurately. Sometimes emotions from a long-awaited victory are simply impossible to contain. Being a champion is not about age, it's about talent, character, and inner core. Even a very little girl is able to fight for this title in front of thousands of people. None of our collections about women's sports can do without Veronica Zanin, and there's a reason for that. This girl really deserves special attention since such perseverance and constancy can no longer be found today. Polina Nerose is the owner of a dozen medals and sports titles. At the same time, she still remains a girl who will not forget to praise herself after a well-executed jump. Each of us has our own special ritual before something important. Someone reads a mantra, someone rubs a coin, someone does not wash their hair, and this athlete dances before the start. There used to be a lot of stupid rules about appearance in sport, but it's good that it's long been in the past. If a girl wants yellow strands, there's no problem. Everyone expresses themselves as they want, and this is the freedom of modernity. Libia Kubkalova is a Slovakian athlete who was eliminated in the second round of selection. But it's not worth getting upset about. To be one of the few who had the honor to represent their country is an achievement. For gymnasts, the ability to keep balance is very important. It allows girls to perform the most difficult flips. After a successful jump, you can exhale with relief and prepare for the next one. During the run, it might have seemed to everyone that nothing would work out and the athlete would not succeed, but everything happened in the right way. The unexpected success gave the athletes genuine emotions of joy. Sometimes, just a little mistake can make the performance look more spectacular than it was planned. When you can't really surprise the audience with anything, a variety of methods are used, and such an enchanting fall is one of them. The cyclist started celebrating his victory even before crossing the finish line, and it should be noted that he was very lucky not to fall down in the dirt. That's why yoga in couples should always be done in clean underwear. If you were wondering what the Grinch looks like nowadays, pay attention to this woman. And that's what you feel on a Friday night when you have 2 days waiting for you. But in fact, the movement is just as great as her emotions. Sometimes fans love their idols so much that they are ready for anything. And after all, in any professional sport, it's incredibly important to choose the right and comfortable clothes. Having such a toned body, it would be a sin not to show it in public. Do you agree? Amber O'Donnell chose an unusual way to demoralize her opponent at the weigh-in procedure, but Whitney Jones did not lose her head and came out of the situation a winner. She did everything perfectly. The only thing that was missing was a little bit of luck.